Welcome back, y'all, to another exciting Outerview video. In this video, we'll take a deep dive into the road of sports betting, exploring its rapid rise in the US and the impact it's had on fans, athletes, and the integrity of the games that we love. Let's get into it. Over the past few years, sports betting has permeated throughout professional sports in the US at a staggering rate. Betting ads are nearly everywhere. You can find them in the middle of a podcast segment, TV commercial, billboards, halftime shows. Heck, you can even find it in the ticker of a live game broadcast. Sports betting companies are undeniably making their presence felt. What's strange is how quickly it's happened. It's like one day we went to bed, woke up, and poof, sports betting companies were everywhere. How this change came about? It's a long story. Before sports betting was legalized in many states, the primary way to bet on sports in the US was through a bookie or sometimes an offshore online sports book. Bookies acted as middlemen between bettors. They set the odds, recorded bets, collected money, and paid out winnings. Essentially, they were the bookmakers. It wasn't the safest process, but they made it work. In 2018, a significant law change transformed sports betting, making it what it is today. The Supreme Court struck down the Professional and Amateur Sports Protection Act, enacted by Congress in 1992. PASPA effectively banned sports betting in most states, with a few exceptions, most notably Nevada. This is why Las Vegas became and still is so popular. Sports betting and gambling were never made illegal in the state. Allowing other states to participate and legally place bets has undeniably allowed sports betting companies to market themselves everywhere. However, this legalization has also created a widely accepted culture of gambling addiction, which is seldomly discussed. While there are some people who claim to have found an edge and can make profits consistently, there's no doubt that for every successful gambler, there are many more who lose money. The house always wins. Studies have proven that gambling triggers a dopamine release in the brain. Just seeing the potential payoff from your bets creates a rush of dopamine, activating the same reward system that is triggered in people addicted to drugs, alcohol, or other addictive behaviors. The worst part is that to satisfy the craving, gamblers often need to place larger bets. Similar to how someone who abuses drugs needs more to achieve the same high. It always starts off small, just a harmless bet on your favorite team. But then, before you know it, you're betting the farm on games like ping pong or even pickleball. The cycle can lead to chronic issues, altering brain chemistry and impairing impulse control. You might not see the effects now, but as gambling continues to be commercialized, this will only be more common amongst gamblers. It's even easier to fall victim to with the constant commercialization and packaging of sports betting. It's sponsored on all your favorite podcasts and YouTube channels. There's also some sort of giveaway where a betting company will match your initial deposit or provide bonus points for every bet that's made. There's also some talk about how much money can be made if you bet on something. Everyone thinks that their next bet will hit, or they'll win money back from a previous lost bet. It's a never ending cycle. I mean, look at Michael Jordan. He allegedly had to sell his franchise because of it.
Do you have a gambling problem?
No, I enjoy it. It's a hobby. If I had a problem, I'd be starving. I'd be hawking this watch. My championship rings, I would sell my house. I would do this. My wife would left me, or she'd be starving, or my kids would be I do not have a problem. I enjoy gambling.
What? Bro, I'm out, man.
The amounts of cash that these gambling companies are pulling in is ridiculous. Take DraftKings, for example. They were founded in 2012, but in just 12 years, they're already worth over $20 billion. Or FanDuel, who's worth over $10 billion. These companies haven't amassed these crazy revenues by people winning bets. The success that many of these gambling companies have had has resulted in an array of new companies popping up. Sport betting companies see blood in the water. People are addicted to gambling. It may not be the only source of revenue as some of these companies are publicly traded, but the math is pretty easy here. There's a whole lot of people losing money for these companies to be able to be billion-dollar companies not long after launching. That's not even the worst part. Many professional sport leagues are in bed with these gambling companies. The NBA, for example, forged a partnership with MGM back in 2016, making them the official gaming partner of the league. Adam Silver thought it was necessary to get ahead and create a level of transparency with fans. The deal opened up the door for branding during NBA broadcasts. The NBA is just one example of the professional sports leagues that have partnered with betting companies. The MLB, NFL, and NHL each have their own respective deals with major sports betting companies. While it's clear that these partnerships bring additional revenue, what's not often discussed is the increased abuse towards players for not hitting bets. Fans have become even more egregious than ever before. The added abuse has put a strain on players and the overall fandom of the game. In addition to this, there's an even more pressing concern of potential integrity issues, which can affect the credibility of competition for these leagues. Gambling is so integrated with professional sports leagues that it practically has a locker room of its own at this point. The closeness opens up the door for players to be tempted to fix games. This has been a problem in Europe for a long time, with instances of soccer games being fixed. It looks like it has the potential to take an even worse turn with sports in the US. Recent examples like Shohei Ohtani, not his translator, making bets on sports and racking up millions in debt, or Jonte Porter being banned from the NBA for betting on his own game, might seem like anomalies today, but the worst is yet to come. The game is being indoctrinated with sports betting, making it hard for players, fans, and referees to escape. The temptation for a player or a referee to throw a game by playing in a way that satisfies a bet might be too tempting to avoid. With the amount of possessions and games that are played, it might be even more difficult to detect as well. It's unfortunate, but sports betting has and will continue to change the dynamics of sports forever. The marriage between betting companies and major sports leagues has created a culture of abuse, extreme fandom, and gambling addiction. The money pouring into these leagues is too big to turn down. Too many people are benefiting, so sports betting will continue to permeate the culture of sports and entertainment. Even though sports betting will hurt the coverage, create addicts, and most importantly affect the integrity of the sports that we love, none of that matters. As we all know, cash rules everything around us. As long as these leagues continue to profit from the partnerships with these betting companies, the pervasiveness and overexposure of sports betting will continue. That's it for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know your thoughts down below. Until next time, I'm out.